Okay, we're in the sample pass class, and just like we would say that in person implementation of pass, you would have a folder for each student. We previously went over how to create a folder for each student. The folders have not been assigned to the students yet. We just created the folders. We're going to drop in some materials for the student, and then we're going to assign it to the student. So if this folder was named after this first student, then I know that I'm going to put some materials here for them to start. If I need them to take a math pre-assessment, for example, then I can go to the math pass group in Schoology. I can go to the resources and I can look for that assessment that I need to assign. If the student is recovering credits in Algebra 1, let's say that they're on Module 2 at this time, and I need to assign them this assessment as a pre-assessment, I can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to add it to the course because I already know which student and in which course. I'm going to scroll to look for the course that they are enrolled in, and this is the past class. Right now, if I don't select a folder, it's going to copy it into this class, but it won't be inside of the folder. I know that I want to assign it to this student, so then I'm going to check it. And the default here is 10 because the assessment is 10 items. We would suggest that you leave that this way. If you want to suggest a due date to this student, you can adjust that here. Right now, this you need to check for category. This is grading category. If you have set up your grading for the past class a certain way, then you can always pick the category that aligns best with that setup. But if you leave it ungraded, you can always change it. If I'm going to assign it as a pre-assessment, I probably want to leave it ungraded. So I'm going to add it. And it's telling me that the template was added. I'm going to check that by going to the course and making sure that it's in there. So I had assigned it to this student, and there it is. Now, right now, this is sitting inside of this student's folder, and so it's ready for the student to go ahead and work on, but at this time, the student is not aware. What you need to do is you need to go to individually assign, and then you're gonna find that student, and then you're going to assign it to them. So you'll see that here they have a little one. So this means that you have assigned this to one student. You could always assign it to more than one student, but again, just like we would say in a past class, you want to have one folder for each student. So then you would want to add this for each student who needs it. You might have students who are on different tracks in their progress or in different courses. And so then you wouldn't be assigning it to everyone, just the student who needs it. The same applies for ELA. So if you're gonna assign a cluster task to a student, this is where they are in the course. So you, as the teacher, will go to the ELA group and then go to the resources. And then you would be able to select the distance learning resources. These are the most updated electronic versions. And if the student is recovering credits in past ELA 9A, you'll notice that all of the cluster work is in these subfolders. If this student is so far cluster B, and this is where they need to start, then I'm going to go ahead and add it to that course. So I need to find the course that the student is enrolled in. And then if I know that this is the student that I want to assign it to, I can go ahead and do that from here. I'm going to select add. I have a confirmation message that says that this was added to the course, so I'm going to check. When I go to this folder, right, there's no image here, no indication that this has been assigned. I haven't assigned it yet. All I did was drop the assignment into the folder. And here it is. So what I can do now is I can go to options, I can individually assign, and I'm going to select the student that I want to assign this to. So that's their folder. And then you'll see here that, it's been assigned to the student, and then you get this banner at the top that lets you know that it's been assigned. So what you would want to do, for example, for this math student that you've assigned this assessment to, this is designed as a pre-assessment and as a summative assessment. So what you would do once you get the results, right, from this student's assessment, which is going to be automatically graded, then you'd be able to look at specifically what problems they were able to do and which problems they had trouble with. And then you would go back into this folder, and then you would, add more practice tasks for them. And when you see that they're understanding the content well enough and they're ready for that post assessment, then you can go ahead and you can add it again and assign it so that the student can take it. In ELA, right now, this student has been assigned cluster B. So then you're going to have to communicate with the student how you want them to submit this. And once you feel comfortable releasing additional follow-up cluster work, then you would just drop it back into this folder.